In the recent past, in the northern part of Uganda, which was greatly affected by war, we had Idi Amin's son. Idi Amin was one of the leaders of Uganda, a dictator who really killed so many people. Whole villages were killed. Men were killed and women survived as widows, and some families were totally wiped out and just a few survivors. So when Idi Amin's son came and attended this, and he stood up and he took responsibility of his father's atrocities in one particular area where Amin killed so many people. There were so many widows. They came forward and said, we had never forgiven Idi Amin, but now that we see his son here, and he is standing up to apologize, we are ready to forgive Idi Amin. So they came in a long line, and they were hugging him and the rest of Amin's family who had come to attend in a big number. They were hugging in tears and weeping, and took, a long time, many minutes, about 40 minutes of just weeping and forgiving and declaring that today we forgive that tribe of Idi Amin. We are from today releasing them for what Amin did and those kind of things. So watching some of the things happen in our different communities is just amazing. From that moment, I was asking Idi Amin's son, how can you stand up for 4 days, every day, almost every other session, standing up and repenting and apologizing to these many people your father really wounded and killed? He said, I asked him, don't you feel depressed? He says, no. Actually, every time I apologize for another wrong or another thing that my father did, I feel lighter and lighter. And then at the end, he told me, everywhere you go and conduct these meetings, I'm ready to come, because I know the havoc my father did all through this country, and I'm ready to come to every tribe. We have 56 different tribes in Uganda. And so you can imagine what all of these many tribes would mean to this man. He's called Jafar Amin. He's the son of Idi Amin. Amin had about 70 children. And the present government managed to convince them to come back and settle in Uganda. And he said, I'm ready to go and spearhead the process of reconciliation, if that would help in the rebuilding of our nation. And I can see this is one of the biggest foundations to rebuilding a nation. If people are wounded and sick, emotionally and psychologically, you cannot build a strong nation. People have to be healed and they have to be free in order to build a strong nation. So this has been a big contribution that the message of this Global Leadership Summit is bringing to our people.